I would like to say I'm here on special appearance. No, I think I have some rights here. That I'm a living soul. I am not the straw man of the all caps. Okay.
We'll get to that in a moment.
So I am waiving
the time.
I am not waiving any of my rights.
Ma'am.
What statutes or what law or what are you saying here are the charges? Because this does not match. Sorry, I have cotton mouth so bad.
It's really quite simple. When you have an order to show up for court and you turn in a cut up piece of paper of it to say you're refusing to attend, that this is what happens next. That's pretty simple.
Oh, did that offend you? Excuse me. I probably have more degrees than you do.
This sovereign citizen, Karen, completely lost it in court. Total chaos from the very beginning. She wouldn't stop interrupting the judge, spouting off classic sovereign citizen lines like, "I do not consent," and "I'm a free citizen of the land," as if that holds any legal weight. Honestly, the judge came off a bit soft here, letting her rant instead of shutting it down early. I won't spoil everything, but let's just say things spiral fast. Let me know your thoughts on how the judge handled the situation, and if you would have done things differently. Now let's dive in and watch this courtroom meltdown unfold in real time.
All right, good morning. We are on the record in the 89th District Court for the County of Sheboygan. We're conducting the physical hearing upstairs in the circuit courtroom. It's being clerked by the 89th District Court staff down in that courtroom. And we're here in the case of In re Beth Bridgman on a contempt matter. It was filed in an underlying criminal case 23-0868 SD. We are providing public access both in the courtroom, in the circuit courtroom, and also online. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Paige Miller on behalf of the people.
Attorney Eric Villanueva appearing as arraignment attorney on behalf of Beth Bridgman.
Right, good morning,
Also, I will represent myself.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll get to that.
I would like to say I'm here on special appearance. No, I think I have some rights here. I don't know.
What does special appearance mean to you?
It means in a common law that I'm a living soul. I am not the straw man of the all caps.
And you'll have an opportunity at a later time. Please just take a seat.
I've never seen those opportunities come back around. Thank you. Okay.
We'll get to that in a moment.
So
but
I am waiving
the time.
I am not waiving any of my rights.
Ma'am.
I honestly feel bad for these lawyers. They didn't go through years of law school to deal with this. You can see it written all over one lawyer's face. He looks like he's one deep breath away from completely snapping. And honestly, who could blame him? This woman is just radiating bad vibes. She's not only a full-blown Karen, but also a sovereign citizen. Like, seriously, you can't make this kind of stuff up.
Thank you.
Ms. Bridgman, you're free to stand or sit, whichever you're more comfortable with.
I don't know how I would pull the chair up, so thank you.
Well, if you want to sit that, I have no problem. All right, Judge Speaking.
Thank you.
All right, well, Ms. Bridgman, you're here for an arraignment on 2 allegations of contempt. So I have to advise you of what those are. The first was an order to show cause that I signed on December 13th, 2023, which alleges that you are in criminal contempt of court for the unauthorized practice of law and for preventing the defendant, Seth Flores, from meeting with the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission attorney prior to his arraignment. We scheduled that for a show cause hearing on December 20th. You did apparently appear in the courthouse that day and turned in a copy of the show cause cut into strips with the red lettering on it says your offer to contract is not accepted. And then you did not appear at that show cause hearing. So therefore I signed a warrant for your arrest for that non-appearance. So that warrant alleges that you are in criminal contempt for failing to appear at that show cause.
So
Failing to appear for order to show cause on Wednesday, December 20th, 2023 at 11 a.m. for preventing defendant Seth Miguel Thomas Flores from meeting with MIDC attorney prior to his arraignment. So those are the 2 contempt citations pending against you. You have the right to have a hearing on both of those allegations where your contempt would need to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to present evidence in your own defense and cross-examine and challenge any of the evidence presented against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you qualified and requested, you have the right to an attorney appointed at public expense. The MIDC provides an attorney for your arraignment today, just as a courtesy and as required by a
What is
statute.
MIDC?
Michigan Indigent Defense Commission.
You also, of course, have the right to represent yourself. Do you know, well, first, do you comprehend the penalties? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. So both those contempt citations, if you are found to be in contempt or you admit to being in contempt, you could be punished by up to 93 days in the county jail and or a fine of $7,500 or both. That's the fine. That's the maximum penalty for both of the contempt citations.
93 days in jail. Calling it right now. I don't know about you, but I'm watching this live just like the rest of you, and I'm willing to bet she's about to fire her public defender and go full "I'll represent myself" mode. At this point, she's not even trying to fight the sentence anymore. It's like these sovereign citizens almost manifest jail time. They act like they want it to happen.
Ms. Bridgman, do you comprehend the rights that you have that I outlined for you and the maximum penalties I outlined for you?
I think that I would like to wait. I have a call into the state trooper that your office or the prosecutor's office called to investigate something with me. And I was on the phone with her and told her I had received the show cause. And she said, he can't serve a show cause. I shot over a copy of it. He can't serve a show cause because you're not under bond. This is from the state attorney general's office. I was still on the phone with her. I had filed the paperwork at 9 o'clock. She called me at approximately 10 o'clock. I was still on the phone with her till after 11 o'clock. And she told me that you could not issue a show cause because I was not under bond. Now I understand you have just precluded all of my common law rights by forcing me in the back door into your jurisdiction on this side of the court. And I know that this is not what was on the original document in its entirety. So you have amped up the charges based on the fact that I failed to appear, but I believed she was going to let you know. She was collecting information from me for you.
Playing dumb in this situation has to be one of the worst strategies I've ever seen. Like, what's the end goal here? Oh, I didn't know any better. That's why I ripped up the show cause order and colored all over it with my favorite red crayon. Ma'am, that's not a legal defense. That's arts and crafts. At this point, her last two brain cells are throwing hands, and the referee already walked out of the building.
Ma'am,
Okay, now,
did you just understand what the judge asked you regarding those two charges?
Did you just understand that I think there's a bigger overriding issue? Thank you.
Wait, hang on.
Thank
I'm
you.
not going to have this.
I'm going to fire him, actually, so thank you very much, because I will represent myself.
Okay. So you're telling me things in defense of the contempt citations, and you'll definitely have an opportunity to present any.
No, because you already,
Hang on, Mr. Villanueva, please stop. I don't want to have this be an argument between
Thank
you
you.
and Ms. Bridges.
I just like to state that
well, I think we need to back it up.
she's pleading not guilty to both of those, and that she would like to request a hearing, that she would like to represent herself at that future
Okay.
hearing.
All right.
No,
Your
but
Honor, I
all
just
of my
want to-
rights were strongly impinged upon for even when I never failed to appear.
Okay. We're going to have a hearing where you.
She was working,
Okay, you're going to get your
Mr.
hearing.
Villanueva,
No,
I
this
direct you to
is-
stop
thank you.
arguing with Ms. Bridges.
Okay,
I mean, it's a pretty serious thing to have to spend the night in jail, to be brought in handcuffs and everything else. When I was not being belligerent in that regard, she told me that it was not an authorized show cause.
All right. If she told you that, she didn't have the authority to do so. But anyway, that's for the later hearing. So
Well, she was
purpose is
investigating. Okay.
Today's purpose is to advise you of the two contempt citations. So do you comprehend the maximum penalty that those could carry and the rights that you have that I outlined for you?
Now, can I ask, what statutes or what law or what are you saying here are the charges? Because this does not match. Sorry, I have a cotton mouth so bad. This does not match what the previous document was that you sent to me. And I have a picture of it on my phone, but my phone's not with me. Okay?
I've
It
told
does
you-
not say,
I've told you the charges. I don't have to answer further questions about that from you. Do you understand the rights that I listed for you and the penalties?
why have they changed,
I'm
Judge
not
Buckley?
answering that question.
Can the prosecutor?
No,
Why?
I need an answer to my question. Do you understand that? So you said you want to represent yourself, right? Do you wish to represent yourself and not have an attorney represent you?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
If you want to do that, I must establish that you know what the penalties are and what your rights are. And I have to establish that you're not going to be disruptive to the court. If you refuse,
So are
if
those,
you refuse, then I'm going to appoint
not
an attorney for
refusing.
you. Okay, then I would appoint an attorney for you and you'd not be able to represent yourself.
I know, I listened to that with Trevor's case.
All right, so I'm asking you, and you saw what
How
happened,
can I be-
Ms. Bridgman?
No offense to the judge, and I know this might sound a bit harsh, but I really wish he'd just stand up, give a little nod, and have the bailiff walk her straight to jail. At this point, we all know she's not going to answer a single question. She's not here to cooperate. She's here to argue with the air. Every time the judge tries to speak, she cuts him off like she's the one running the courtroom. She's not just defending herself. She's straight up wasting everyone's time.
I first have to make sure you know what the maximum penalties are and what your rights are. Do you not?
Those maximal penalties are based on the charges, and I'm wondering how you arrived at a change in the charges.
You know that you could face up to 93 days in jail and over a $7,500 fine. You understand it.
Up to that. Okay, but I don't even understand what the charges are.
Okay. And do you have any questions for me about any of the rights that I listed, that you have to have an attorney and have a hearing and present evidence? Do you have any question about any of those rights?
Context of everything today, Judge Gothier.
It's really quite simple. When you have an order to show up for court and you turn in a cut up piece of paper of it to say you're refusing to attend, that this is what happens next. That's pretty simple.
Oh, did that offend you?
No, it did not offend me. It was a contempt of court.
It's a
Now,
common
it's
law
not about
thing.
anybody's personal feelings. It's about the authority of the court to compel appearances, and you did not appear. So I do believe, based upon your answers, that you do understand the maximum penalties that you face and the rights that you have. So, Ms. Bridgman, Mr. Villanueva indicated that you wish to plead not guilty to those charges of contempt. I gather from your comments that you would agree that you're not pleading guilty.
Correct.
That's correct. Okay. All right, so we'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf to both contempt citations. We'll schedule this for a hearing where the prosecutor will present evidence, and you can present evidence in your defense. If you want to have an officer come testify on your behalf, you can certainly do so.
I would like to request a trial by jury.
There is no right to trial by jury in a contempt matter, so
Oh.
that request would be denied.
Okay, so then there's no chance to understand what you're charging me with prior to this hearing.
I've told you what you charged. I can read it again if you want.
I the only one yelling at the screen. Right. Now, telling the judge to grow a spine? Like, seriously, how much more nonsense does he need to hear before shutting this circus down? Maybe I'm stricter than most when it comes to courtroom rules, but this is just getting out of hand. At this point, it feels like the judge is getting paid by the hour to listen to this clown show, and honestly, maybe he is, because he sure doesn't seem in a rush to wrap it up. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think.
I don't see where there's a code or a statute or any law that I have actually violated here.
Well, that's not required to be on a contempt citation. I've told you what the allegations are. If you want me to read them to you again, I will. I'm not
Okay,
gonna argue
and
with you about what-
the contempt charges that you're saying have changed from the first time.
No, there are two. One is the contempt for unauthorized practice of law and preventing Mr. Flores from meeting with his MIDC attorney prior to his arraignment. The second one is for failing to appear for the show cause hearing on that contempt.
So I only show one now,
What
Okay.
one do you have?
and this is preventing. And how did you arrive at this at a later date than to issue a bench warrant?
Mr. Villanueva?
There's two items checkmarked here.
This is after the fact, so then you added a different charge than the previous one about the same date.
Ma'am, he read two charges. There's two charges marked here.
Excuse me, I probably have more degrees than you do.
Wait,